Hey, let's watch a video together. Backfire skateboards. Ooh, I want to know how to do that. New remote. New battery. Who dat? It's pretty hot. Ooh. Offset wheels. New sleeves. Steel core. New motors. I want to learn how to slide also. Who's this guy? Turbo button. Whoa, be careful. What a dumbass. G2T. Jeffy. This guy's good. Aki. She hot. Daniel. That's me. Rex, Tilo, Max. Thank you guys very much. Okay, obviously I made this video, so it's kind of stupid that I'm reacting to it, but whatever. Anyway, let me tell you a bit more about this G2T. The G2T has a new battery. I think this battery is also available on the G2S now as a upgrade option. Let's see, it's 36 volts, 6 amp hours, Samsung 30Q, which has a pretty good reputation. So Backfire claims that it has 20% more range than the G2S. So we'll find out. We'll see if that's true. The charger is now 2.5 amps instead of 1.5. So this is the new charger. I don't know if you can see the details on that. Let's see, 42 volts, 2.5 amps. So to charge this board from empty to full should take 2.5 hours. Still kind of a long time, but it's much better than 4 hours, which is how long it takes to charge the Backfire G2S. The G2T has a new remote. Let me show you guys. So this is the original remote from the Backfire G2. Hey, how's it going? And this is the G2S remote, which is a generic remote that many companies use. And this is the G2T remote. This remote will be sold separately also, so you can also use it on the G2S, but there's not gonna be the like the turbo feature. Disconnected. Give me a sec. Okay, I have the board right here. This is the Backfire G2T. Looks almost the same. There are other differences. I'll get to them in a bit, but let me just turn the board on first so I can show you the remote. So you see two battery indicators. One is for the board and one is for the remote. It shows you the current speed. Oh, by the way, you can switch between let me do that right now. You can switch between imperial and metric units. I'm going to show you the pairing process. So let's turn this off. I'm going to put the board right here on my chair, on my stool. I'm sorry you can't see the board right now, but to pair the remote with the board, you just hold down the power button on the board and the remote at the same time. So once they pair up, this is what you see. It wants you to choose if you want to use miles per hour or kilometers per hour. Since I'm not in the US, I'm going to choose kilometers per hour. Once you've made your selection, just hit the power button. And then it wants you to choose the wheel size. So you can choose 83, 96, or 165. So I have the 83 millimeter size on right now, so I'm going to choose 83. The 165 is for the Backfire Ranger, so I guess the Ranger is going to use this remote also. Okay, and that's it. That's how you pair the remote. And choose imperial or metric units and choose the wheel size. And you see this triangle here? This is the turbo button. When you press the turbo button, this icon here is going to turn to that triangle. You see that? The turbo mode is basically just a third speed mode. While it's in turbo mode, for 30 seconds you get increased acceleration and also no top speed limit. But realistically, for most people, I think the top speed is still going to be in the low 40s, so 41, 42 kilometers per hour ish. I don't really know. I haven't tested it out. The ESC that I have in this board is not the final one, so I'm still waiting for the new ESC to put it in. This design is very much like the original remote, but the size is different. See, the original G2 remote is quite a bit larger. Oh, there's also a trip meter and an odometer. So the trip meter measures your current ride. I think it resets every time you turn on the remote. And the odometer is the odometer. It keeps track of how far you've used the board. So for those numbers to be accurate and also the speed, you need to choose the right wheel size. The G2T has a wider, so they call it a wheel span. I don't know the terminology for how wide or how far apart the wheels are. Not talking about front and back, but side to side. So from here to here, this is now 275 millimeters. On the G2S and the G2, it was 260. So a little bit wider now. Okay, this board is definitely heavier. It's not super heavy. I weighed it, I think it was like 7.5 kilograms. And I think the G2S was 6.5 or around there. So this is a bit heavier. They're using different motors now. If you're very familiar with the e-skate industry, you might have seen these before. Focus. I think the main reason that they changed the motors is so that they can use steel core inside these replacement PU. Over time, I'm curious to see if this steel piece and the rubber, if they slip, because I think that's an issue with certain other boards. So we're gonna have to see over time how well this works out. But you know, worst case scenario, if they come apart, just get new wheels. These are replaceable. So this is what the old one looks like. So you can see that it's just rubber. It doesn't have that steel inside. So over time, this kind of gets deformed, and when it gets deformed, you get vibration issues. But now that they have this steel inside, that should not be an issue. I guess that's about it. Like I said, I'm waiting on the new ESC to arrive. Once I have the new ESC, I'll put it in the board. I've already tried out the board, but it wasn't the final version. Other than that, it's a good board. It's like the G2S. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment. I should receive the new ESC in a couple of days, and then I'll put it in and let you know what it's like.